Hey everyone, I'm Jessica with Pencil First Games, and we are going to take a look at Sunrise at the Studio, in particular, the solo mode, and how you are working on your projects while your friend is also there, and you need to balance what you're working on with helping them with their projects. So let's dive in, see how this plays, and go through a full solo playthrough. The solo mode works similarly to the multiplayer game in terms of the community area and your personal area for the most part. The biggest change is that your friend is going to be playing a little bit differently, and you'll see how your decisions are a balance of what you're working on versus how you're going to help your friend create their pieces of pottery. So you'll see that there's a lot of stuff that looks familiar here. There are studio challenges, the project row, the wastebasket. Those all look pretty similar. We'll go through the day cards and how those operate a little bit differently here, just to keep track of resource cards. Your personal area should look pretty similar, and you actually get to decide your difficulty level based on how many cubes you start in your reserve. So we are starting with 2, which is the normal difficulty level. You can make that easier or harder depending on what sort of challenge you want to go through. We will see how well I do today. And then of course the biggest change is your friend. So there's going to be a friend mat where you are going to place resources that you give to your friend based on their type. So there's clay, glaze, and kilns. So as you give those to your friend, you're going to start stacking those up here. And as soon as you get 2 of the same resource, let's actually get a pretty easy example. Apparently what the card I need is just not here. But as soon as you get 2 or more of the same exact type of resource, so again, those are all stoneware, you would trigger the friend action for that type of space. So clay, for instance, is going to let your friend put out their studio challenge markers, gaining them some points. For glaze, they're going to gain either, these are double-sided components here, so they'll either gain a coffee bean card, so they might get that cup of coffee, which everyone always wants, or you would decide to place one of these damage cards on one of your projects. And then if they complete a kiln action, that is where they're going to be actually drawing one of these special solo cards that you don't reveal until the end of the game, but these are rewarding points based on the projects they collect, and there's also one in there that is just going to be 3 points. But you won't actually see those until the end of the game, so I will give those a little shuffle real quick, just so we don't know what's in there. And then I will also show how discarding cards is how your friend is going to pick up projects based on matching the icons on those resources. We're going to go through a full playthrough here though to make sure that everything makes sense. So let's get these back into their decks. The other part of setup real quick, you are going to remove this advantage card. Again, as you'll see, your friend does not complete projects in project order, so we don't need that. And then for the resource card, you're going to take all of the 2-player resource cards, and again, that has that 2-player icon at the bottom. You're going to shuffle those up. There'll be 24, so we're going to draw 12 of those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That will go on day 1. The other half of those cards are going to go on day 2. Then you will take all of the resource cards for 3 players. Again, those are going to have that 3-player icon at the bottom there. Shuffle those up, and those will be the resource cards for day 3. So rather than using all of the resource cards that have been discarded during the day, we're going to have a different stack for each day. Play progresses very similarly as far as I am concerned for work style and working on my own projects, but we'll see how those decisions impact what I'm giving my friend and how they're gaining points. So let's get started. First, on day 1, we're going to take all these 12 resource cards, place those below my player mat, and I am going to draw 4 to start with, just like in the standard multiplayer game. So I got a good assortment here as I try to decide what I want to use for my own projects and also what I want to put on my friend's mat. So I think I definitely want to keep you and you, and I'm okay giving these up. So I am going to take my work style and we are going to have a measured approach to start with. I'm keeping those two. These two are going to go to my friend. So this kiln will go on the kiln space. And this, I actually get to decide which one of those types of clays it is at any point. So it doesn't matter right now since it's the first card, but that can come into play in terms of when I want to actually trigger that. As we will see, this is actually a really cool thing that happens. You don't want to prevent your friend from doing everything. It's just a timing thing. So they would get those. For me, I am going to then use this kiln to place this resource, and I have clay that will match over here. And you know what? I think I am going to take these 2 cubes in my reserve to convert that into a wild resource, place that there, and that is right. I have completed my mug. Let's take those off of there. Again, my friend has not completed anything. They complete projects differently, so this is all me right now. I have a nice mug. Obviously, studio challenges I have not completed because this is my first project. I am now just deciding what I want to pick up in terms of what are the studio challenges. We want different glazes, the same type, but there's no other mug out here, and different clay types. Now, you want to keep in mind what the point values are and the coffee beans because your friend is going to pick these up. But I also don't want to paint myself into a corner too early with not being able to do a lot. So I think I am going to go and pick up this bowl. And again, this is my bonus completion action standard as in the base game, or the multiplayer game, I should say, sorry, multiplayer game. And then I think I'm going to take an advantage card, and let's take a look at what that is. It is a showpiece, very nice. So I can either start to work on this, or I can keep it and potentially turn it into a cube in the reserve. I will hang on to that for now, off to the side. So I'm all set there. Let's draw the next 4 resource cards. All right. Oh, all right. Okay. Interesting. And here's the fun decision because I would love to use a lot more. No, I think we're gonna do that. Yes, I got it. So, I would like to be efficient where I keep 3 and give 1 to my friend. So I'm gonna keep this wild, this double clay, and this kiln, yes. All right, and then I'm gonna give my friend this clay, which again, does not match. You can see those are all different types. So I am gonna give that there. Nothing triggers right now, although I am setting it up. I'm fully aware. So this is a double resource. Porcelain, which is exactly what I need. So I will discard that and turn that into 2 right here on this lovely bowl. I can't use this kiln, that's fine. Turn it into a wild, well, into my reserve, I should say. And then this is the wild resource. That's great. I will use that to fill in, I think, the luster. So I can't complete that project right now. That's okay. We will just keep on going. It's a nice bowl. All good. So next 4 cards I'm gonna draw. These are not, there's a lot of glaze right there. All right, and now this one, I have to keep in mind, did I plan this correctly? I don't know, but this is the wasteful work style that I have to use here. So I'm gonna keep only 1, pass 1 to my friend, and then discard 2. This is actually a very big decision because I need to actually try to see if I can give my friend something that is not worth a lot of points. Because they're gonna be evaluating from right to left and picking up the first project that matches these cards. So I don't think I'm in a very good position here. Or am I? No, I'm in a pretty bad position. I'm trying to see if I can get them to pick up this project and this project because this one is worth 9 points and I would love not to give that away, but we probably have to, and that's all right. I can use this kiln card though, so I'm gonna keep that one. What am I gonna pass to my friend? I will pass them, yeah, it doesn't really, it's not gonna make that big of a difference. I'm gonna pass them this luster glaze. That'll go in the glaze space. I have not triggered a friend action yet, which is correct. You'll see how that plays out in days 2 and 3, which means that I'm then gonna discard both of these. Do not discard normally, put them underneath the wastebasket so you can kind of keep track of this. So although they're the same, the first one, we're looking for a light glaze. So my friend will stop right here because this has that light glaze on it. They will then take this project, immediately complete it, so it flips over, and that goes into their area. And they now have that. That's going to count for points at the end of the game. We don't refill yet. We then look for the next light glaze, and unfortunately, it's this one. Again, counting over from the right, it matches. There's that light glaze, and it's 9 points. That's, I know from experience, that's a bad decision, but that's okay. We can still come back from this. Then those would go away. We would refill this project row right there. Does that help me any? I am not sure. That's all right. And let me just make sure that work style was on there. So that is day 1. We've just completed it. I'm okay. I'm doing all right here. Feeling okay. I can do this. So the next day, we're gonna grab the next stack of resource cards. That'll go below my player mat. Ooh, let's make sure. Actually, did I not even use this? I forgot to use that. So the last round, I would have put that right here. I couldn't have completed that project anyway though, so I just forgot to do that. It's fine. We take off our work style, tiles, and we are ready to go. So let's draw the next 4 cards. I have a wild, a luster, a either or kiln, and clay that I can't use. So none of these actually help me aside from the wild. I think I'm gonna keep the wild because I really would like to complete this bowl and keep moving in terms of creating more projects. Now I have to make a very careful decision here because if I pass this clay to my friend, or this luster actually, they are going to trigger one of those actions. But I think I'm okay with, I'm okay with triggering the glaze. It's not gonna be the greatest for me at this time though. Well, you know, we're gonna do it. So let me just plan out what I'm doing here. Again, you can do this as you're planning out how you want to use cards. You don't just figure out your work style first sometimes. You want to think through these. So I am okay, and then what else? Oh, actually, no. This is it. This is the perfect time. This is the perfect time to be wasteful. I got it. These 2 are going to get discarded, I think. Is that how I want to do it? It's not the best, but it's also not terrible. Yeah, we're going to do that. I'm gonna pass this to my friend, and I have this wild resource that I get to use. Now remember, let's do this. My friend has now triggered. I've triggered this action because they have 2 luster. If there were any other glazes, those would also get discarded. So if you look at the nice back of the rulebook, it has a reference for what to do. So with the glazes, I am either going to decide to give my friend a coffee bean card or use this as a damage card to one of my projects. I am going to give them a coffee bean card. I have 1 coffee bean. I feel like I might be able to get some more. So where are we putting this? We're putting this over here. Then this is important to remember this. All the cards that were discarded, I get to actually choose one of these resource cards and use them myself. Now I can't, but I can put 1 cube into my reserve from that. If you time it better, there are some really, really cool cascading effects that can happen. Didn't happen for me right now, but that's okay. And then I would use mine. I want to use that wild to complete this one, but first, our friend gets to pick out their projects that I am giving them right now. It's a better, just looking at my area here, it's fine. We know what's going on. So first, they are going to look for one of these kiln types, which they'll stop right here. So this plate becomes theirs. They will complete that. I think we can kind of stack these up a little bit down over here. So that was for this one. Then they are looking for some red clay. That's gonna be, not this one, they'll skip over and pick up this one. It's 7 points, but I'm okay right now, I think. I got it. We then make sure that that project row gets refilled. There we go. And then for me, I completed a project, so I now get to complete this bowl. We'll stack that one. All right, that's good. And then I think I definitely want to grab 2 projects for my bonus completion action here. So we are looking for, can I get a bowl or a mug? I can. And I want it to be, yes, here we go. This mug is perfect. So I want this one. And then that will also actually get me, okay, that's good, that's good. We want to make it so I can actually complete some more projects here, and also, yeah, I'm okay with that. So I am actually going to take, I will take this mug as well. So I'm going to have 2 projects that I'm working on over here. And then we would refill that right here. Nice. All right. Then I draw my next 4 resource cards. Lots of glazes again. This is got a lot of glaze going on here. All right, so I need to be careful here about triggering. I want to complete another project because I want to try to get one of these, get the main points, the bigger point value on some of these studio challenges before triggering my friend. So this will help me. Can I take, yeah, let's do that. So I am going to be efficient. I'm going to keep 3 resources and pass 1 to my friend. So that goes on the glaze space. Again, there's nothing else there, so that won't trigger. I'm okay with that. So then I have my double resource card. I don't have any projects, but that puts 2 in the reserve. Then I can use this split resource to turn that into 1 light glaze, put that down here. And then I have stoneware, which I can put up here. I do have 4 in my reserve, so I'm gonna convert and show you how. So we're gonna do 2 of these, turns into 1 up here, and then 2 of these we'll convert here. And I completed a project, my little mug here. So I get to do this. All right, that gets me another coffee bean. That's good. And more importantly though, I was working on a whole bunch of studio challenges, and if I have it together here, let me just check studio challenges. So first, 3 different glazes. I have light, then dark, then luster. So I just got that. Then I want 2 of the same type. I just completed my second mug. And then 3 different clay types. I have red, oh yes, white, and gray. Whoa, all right, I think honestly that's the first time that's happened where I completed all 3 studio challenges just by doing that, but I did it. Wow, that was cool. All right, now I'm feeling pretty good. All right, so I need to do my bonus completion action here too. Don't forget, I was just really excited about my studio challenges. So I have an in-progress project. I've completed studio challenges. I don't know if I want to work on this showpiece though. I'm not sure yet. We actually should probably try to clear this and keep it so that my friend is not picking up. Yes, all right. We're gonna pick up this really, really expensive project. I know, it's a lot, but I'm going for it. And then I will take another advantage card, and that one is if I complete a plate and a bowl by the end. I have the bowl, but no plate. We'll see if it happens. We'll save it. I'm excited. All right. So let's then go on to our last round of day 2. Here's my last 4 resource cards. I'm actually okay. Yes, okay. I'm okay with triggering my friend's action here, and I'll show you why in a second. So we know that one's definitely gonna go. Also, I have to play measured, so I get to keep 2 and pass 2. What can I actually use here? Yes, perfect. So I'm going to keep these 2, pass these 2 to my friend. So this glaze will go here. Keep in mind though, those don't match, so we don't trigger it. But now by doing this, this is going to trigger the clay action. The nice part here though is that I planned it nicely in that you trigger it just once, no matter what is happening there. As long as there are at least 2 of the same, that will trigger. So what does that do? Again, we can take a look here just as a nice little reminder. This is where they are actually going to be able to place one of their Studio Challenge tiles. Now, normally they are looking for the one that rewards the most points, but I just claimed all those. So they will go to the leftmost Studio Challenge and put theirs there, which I'm okay with. I'm good with. Then, remember the cool part here is that I get to discard all of these off of here, but I get to use one of these resources. If I had stoneware, this would be great because I could actually take both of those. However, there is a porcelain clay here, so I am going to use that as it's getting discarded to fill in this space right here. Those all go away. I'm pretty excited. I'm feeling pretty good here. We'll see. We'll see. It is a challenge. And then I also have to make sure that I use my resource cards here. So this is a dark glaze. We'll put it down here. And this is the kiln that I actually needed, which, yes, let's complete a project. Definitely. So we will complete this mug. Flip that over. And then what do we want to do here? Because we're coming up to day 3. I don't want to set myself up to not complete any projects. They have 1 coffee bean. They might take another one. I'm okay. I think I'm going to take 3, because again, I have that in progress project. So we're going to draw 3 advantage cards and decide which one to take. If I can complete that, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to showpiece. So these ones are just discarded. You can place them at the bottom of the deck or off to the side, however you want to, because this is solo. I'm going to use this one to get 2 resources to place in my reserve immediately. I feel like that'll come in handy for my last project. So that was day 2. We now are moving on to day 3. So we'll grab these resources from the 3rd stack, get our work style tiles off of there, and draw 4 cards and keep on going here. So let's see, we've got red clay, luster, a wild resource, and porcelain. All right, so we've got a lot to work with here. All of these will not trigger any friend actions. I'm okay with that. Actually want to trigger potentially. We'll see. The other thing to keep in mind is that my friend is going to go through and pick up 2 more projects by the end of the game, so I might want to sort of... I'm trying to find a way where I can trigger this one, and I actually can do it with the wild. So I am going to do that right now. This feels like a good time, so we're going to be wasteful again, which is okay. So I am going to give the red clay to my friend. I am going to keep the luster, and I'm discarding these 2. So, well, it won't matter. So let me just get this done before I forget. Let me turn my luster into a resource. Nothing triggers over here, but then my friend is going to pick up these resources. With me discarding the wild, it would have been great for me, but with that one I can actually choose any card, and I am going to choose this one right here for them because it's only worth 5 points. That is completed for them. And then they are going to get a porcelain card, which is actually this mug, which is only worth 4 points. That seems about right. Then we will refill our project row here. And then it is my turn. We move on again. And we're getting really close to the end of the game here, so I am trying to figure out how I want to do this. All right. So, I don't have those coffee cards. I'm looking at coffee beans because I'm always after that coffee. That cup of coffee, everyone wants it. My friend only has one right now, but I only have two, so I don't want them to take any more coffee beans. Let's see, and I know I'm not winning on points here. I need to complete this. This needs to get completed. So I definitely want to keep this one. Do I want to give my friend two of these though? I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, all right. So we're gonna be measured here. So I am going to keep these two. I'm gonna give my friend these two clay, which means that that is gonna trigger them right here. That action, the clay action, is gonna trigger. And that means that with the clay, they're gonna place another studio challenge tile. That gives them 1 point. I'm okay with that. And then I get to choose one of these. Unfortunately, I do have a showpiece that I could put out there and try to complete. I think I'm gonna start that actually. Does that make sense? No, it does and it doesn't. I'm gonna go for it though because I am a little bit behind and I haven't completed that. Yeah, let's do that. So with that, I am actually gonna choose to use that to gain a clay right here. Discard those. All right, and then it's the last, here it is, the last round. We'll see if maybe if I actually use my resources here. Dark glaze is gonna go here, and then this kiln will go right here. All right, so very last round of the last day. Here's our 3 resources. It is not what I want at all, but let's see, because I'm gonna get to keep 3 past 1. I almost wonder, what do we want to trigger for my friend here? I know I'm going to trigger one of these. So if I trigger the glaze, that's where I give them a coffee bean card or I add a damage card. The kiln could be dangerous though because they get a card from the friend deck. And I do have it pretty nicely measured, but that could be 3 points. Ugh. No, okay. We're gonna trigger, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna have to trigger a glaze. So, all right, we're being efficient here. I'm gonna pass this glaze, keep these 3 to make sure I get this done. So my friend will trigger the glaze action, again, because they have those 2 light ones. Although I could use that dark one as I'm discarding. I don't need it though. So with the glaze, I have no way to get, no. I'm gonna have to take a damage card. Oh, we'll say my little mug here got damaged. I was too busy helping my friend. It's okay. It's still a functional mug. And then I get to use one of those as I discard it from triggering that friend action. We'll use that as a light glaze to go here. And then these are all of my final resources. So we are going to use this one to go here, which is going to complete that showpiece. Great. And then both of these, both of these go into, oh wait, hold on, I think I have it. All right. Both of these are going to go into my reserve. I'm going to convert those into 2 cubes into my reserve. Oh, I've got it. We're going to convert these 2 into 1 wild, these 2 into 1 wild, and then, since I did not reveal it yet, remember this advantage card? I can't complete this anyway. I am going to discard it to turn it into 1 cube into my reserve. Oh, yes. And then we're gonna convert those. That's gonna let me, yes, complete that project. So we got a lot going on here. Let's see. So first, this showpiece is completed. Great. Then this is completed. Make sure I remember this is on my mug. And then I can take those 3, that was happened on the very last turn, so I can draw 3 of these advantage cards and choose one to take. Let's see if we got anything. Do I have 2 bowls? I do not. Do I have 2 plates? Nope. Do I have a bowl, a plate, and a mug? I do not. That would have been nice if that panned out, but none of those work for me. it's actually not worth anything, but we'd say I would keep 1 and I would just convert that into 1 cube in my reserve. All right, so that is the end of the game, and now we gotta see who won. I'm hoping it's me. So there's a nice final scoring chart in the back here too, so this is a nice reference guide here. So my completed projects, let's take a look. There are gonna be, that is 9. This is only a 3 because remember again, this is normally 4 but minus 1, so that's 9 plus 3, 12, 15, 22, 24. Okay, all right. 24, then my studio challenges. I'm at 27, 30, 33. This is plus 4, so 37. Oh, and the cup of coffee. The cup of coffee. I get the cup of coffee. I'm at 37. This is going to put me at 40 because I have 2 coffee beans and my friend only has 1. So that's 40 for me. I will take it. Then let's go calculate our friend. They did get some good projects here. So that's 15, 20, 27. Ooh, this is coming up. 27, what is that, 32, 36, 37, 38, and they didn't get any friend cards. Ah, I did it! 40 to 38, just barely. And that came down to me making sure I got that cup of coffee and also really having that amazing move with the studio challenges. That did it for me, because if this was swapped, if they had gained, if it was like that, I would have lost. So, wow, that was cool. But that is a full playthrough of how you can expect to kind of balance out what you're working on with giving your friends some help as they are learning how to play at the studio. Or not play at the studio, but make their own pieces of pottery. It's a lot of fun. You can see there's a lot of different challenges, a lot of different strategies to think through as you are planning through those resources, when to trigger friend actions, which cards they're gonna pick up to create their own projects and complete those. So cool. And that is how you play the solo mode for Sunrise at the Studio. Lots of neat decisions as you are creating these beautiful pottery pieces, helping out your friend, but making sure that you get the most points. As always, thanks so much for watching and take care. Bye.